welcome everybody. I'm Steph McPhee. I am going to be your guide, and I'm joining you from Northern Florida in the United States, and just thrilled and honored to be here with all of you today. We are going to have, I believe, 8 countries represented and joining us in this session today. And so we know you're with different time zones, but we thank you for taking a moment out of your day, your evening, wherever you are joining us from, to have this moment in time to celebrate and to reflect. One of the things that is so critical about us as women is that we oftentimes don't do that, right? It's really difficult for us to pause from all the roles that we play. And when these phenomenal women approached me about working with them on this event, one of the things that we really wanted to focus on was giving you some of that time, some time to reflect and some time to really celebrate all of the things that you do every single day as a woman around the world. So I applaud you. I thank you for what you do. I thank you for being with us and sharing this time and space. And one of the things that, again, we are looking at today is celebrating our global vision of strength. When you look up International Women's Day, the running theme that has gone on for this celebration since its inception is the idea of celebrating the strength of women. And a lot of the conversation that went into planning this year's event was really about what we've all been through this past year, talking about the strength we've had to tap into more than ever, as we have had to, most of us been home, right, for a good portion of the year. So you're at home with all these people that you're normally getting a little bit of a break from probably. And so we have laughed about, because that's what we as women do, right? We smile through the tears and we push through. And we know that we have had to 24 hours a day, we are moms, or we are sisters, or we are partners, or we are business owners. But then it all really got blended and blurred this past year, probably more than ever. And so really highlighting and celebrating more than ever the strength that it has taken all of us to get through this global pandemic, and coming together today to create our vision and this strength piece. And so with that, I want to introduce our phenomenal hosts, Nancy G. Allen from the Women's Business Development Council. Nancy is a global author, speaker. She is a coach. She has been helping women start, grow, legacy their businesses for over 20 years, and the author of 1 and soon to be 2 books coming out in just a couple of months, and one of the visionaries behind today's event. And then of course, Linda Pereira. Oh my gosh. First of all, I haven't met Linda in person and I cannot wait. I am counting down Linda till the event. And I am definitely ready to get that vaccine so I can get on a plane. But Linda, as so many of you know, and for those of you who don't, is a phenomenal leader, joining us from Portugal. Linda is a visionary herself with her organization and company, promoting events. She has been asked to speak by more organizations and countries than you could ever imagine on her expertise. She's also a wonderful global advocate for women, not only in her own country, but around the world. And again, just a visionary. And I'm so honored that I have been able to be in the presence of these 2 amazing women. So with that, I'm actually going to hand it over to Linda to kick us off and to get us started on our day.
Okay, wow. I just want to give you a little bit of a hello and really, really say that this day is as important to me as Christmas. Not because we haven't achieved a lot. It's because we've achieved an amazing amount, and it's almost 100 years since this day was actually born, and it has to exist for 2 reasons. It has to exist to allow us to celebrate all that we've done, but also to remember the amount that has yet to be done. Okay, so many women still don't have the chance to lead. And as Steph so rightly said, this year has been horrendous for women. And 2/3 of all jobs lost belong to women, and women have had to learn how to manage home and work and still be as professional and look amazing and immaculate when they come onto the screen, which is absolutely nerve-wracking. So I think that we have to take time to remember how capable we are, how prepared we are for the world, how this internet world is going to be perfect for us because it will allow us to be able to control our time more, yet do all the things that we want to do. And it is a day of positivism. It is a day where we have to look forward and redesign our way forward and where we go now. And of course, there can be no one better to guide us than the woman who will talk to us today. She's my hero, my mentor, someone I absolutely adore. And don't ask me to choose between my husband and her. My husband may lose. Okay, so I cannot imagine anyone that I'd rather be with on International Women's Day. All of you, and of course, above all, and forgive me for saying this, Nancy Allen. So I don't think I need to say more than that for now, so that we have as much time as we can to get on with our event.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Linda, and welcome everyone. We are so glad you're here. The first part of this presentation is all about getting ready to do a creative piece that will remind you of your strength throughout the rest of this year. Okay, now I can't see the chat, so I'm going to ask if my team will just monitor the chat, and if there's a pressing question, just interrupt me and we'll answer that question. Okay, so welcome everyone to this workshop, Visions to Victories, Seeing Our Global Strength, an International Women's Day experience. And we're calling it an experience because we would love for you to participate with us, not only today, during the first part of the session, also the second part of the session, and then continue to participate with us through our global groups that we're establishing. So here's what we're going to cover. We're going to do, obviously we've done the welcomes and introductions. We're going to talk about transitions and transformations. And I like to call this looking at the space between no longer this and not yet that. We're going to do some breath work, some visioning, looking at intentions and affirmations. We'll do a little exercise on gremlins. We will write a letter to yourself. We'll do some mind mapping. We're going to create your vision piece, and then we'll talk about some next steps. So my goal is to give you tools you can use and share. Women are strong. We are even stronger. We're even more unstoppable when we work together. So that's about seeing our global strength. So Steph gave you a little bit of background on myself. I'm going to talk to you about this great picture. I love this picture because it has a really interesting story. I am a perfectionist. Like probably most of you, I like for things to be just all pretty and perfect, tied up in a bow. And this picture was taken at the end of a professional headshot. So I had gone to the studio, and while the photographer was taking, the picture where you look forward, you look to the side, you cross your arms, you put your hand here, you do all the normal things that you do for a headshot, I noticed in the corner of the studio a tulle skirt, and I happen to love tulle. So the whole time she's taking pictures, I'm eyeing this tulle skirt, wondering how can I ask her about this, because I think this would make a just lovely skirt for my Christmas holiday. And at the end of the photo shoot, she says, "Okay, Nancy, would you like to have some fun?" And I said, yes. And she said, "We're going to put on some music and we're going to put you in a tulle skirt." So my wish came true. We put on the music, we put me in a tulle skirt, and she had an assistant who was fanning, which is why my hair looks, blown and swept. And the picture before this, my hair is perfect order. The picture behind after this, my hair is in perfect order. But this is the picture that I prefer because I am just having so much fun. And it reminds me every time I see it to remember that there is beauty in imperfection. There is joy and happiness in imperfection. So I invite you as you go through today and the exercises to remember that it doesn't have to be perfect to be really, really authentic and really good. I'm going to take a couple of minutes and introduce you to our team at the Women's Business Development Council of Florida. We have a phenomenal team. I have 5 regional directors, some of whom are on the call with us today. Their backgrounds are really, really impressive. We have Emily McHugh, who has a great background in strategic planning. Diane Sears, who is, her background is in publishing and media relations. Carmen Perez, her background is in retail and commerce. Joanna Sanchez in organization and work-life balance. And you've already met Steph McPhee, who is our marketing and communications guide. Right, so about you, so tell us your name, put it in the chat, your name, as Steph said, what country you're from. Also add what would make today amazing for you during this session. What can we do that's going to make today outstanding? And then let us know if you've ever done a vision board exercise before. Okay, so here's what we're going to do today. We are going to discover our stories and the rules we learned
so I can focus on something
about being happy, right? Sometimes as we were growing up, there were certain expectations, whether they were cultural or familial, about what it means to be happy. And we're also going to look at if your rules are keeping you stuck. We're going to look at intentions, and I'm going to help you set some very clear intentions. The intentions will remind us to be in clarity, right? To sit in clarity and to remember what we're doing today and carry that forward. So don't forget to let us know in the chat what would make today amazing for you, because we want to, as much as possible, make that happen. So letting go is a really important concept that a lot of women have a difficult time with. Sometimes we, as business owners, we don't delegate because we're afraid of letting go. What I'm going to invite you to do over the course of the next hour and a half is to let go of some preconceived notions. I'm going to ask you to let go of what's standing in your way. Let go of what's expected and embrace what's authentic and important to you. We're going to be creating and affirming. I think that you got the emails and the notification about this. We're actually going to encourage you after the first portion of this event to do something creative. So my personal motto and core values are connections, creativity, and courage. I believe that we are all creative. We have to be creative to survive. Thinking creatively helps you to be a better person, a better sister, a daughter, a mom, a wife, a friend, and especially a better role model for girls and other women. Here are some examples of things that you can create after the second part, during the second part of our session. So a vision board is really very simple to do. You get a poster board or a canvas, you find pictures and words, affirmations that mean something to you. You arrange those and you put them someplace where you're going to see them. We'll talk a bit more about vision boards during the second portion. I created this piece just by drawing on a paper bag, the back of a paper bag. These are my hands, and I'm inviting you to consider, possibly doing some hands. Affirmation branches is another example of things you can do. A self-portrait. This one is called Whimsical You, that I did with my art coach, Nadine Hamill. And then another type of Whimsical You, a cardboard sculpture. So these are designed just to let you start to think creatively of what it is you can do that's going to remind you of your strength. So no longer this and not yet that. Women go through about 50 different transitions in our lifetimes. Some of those transitions are seamless transitions. They just happen. We go from kindergarten to first grade. We go from girl to woman. Some transitions we choose. We go from girlfriend to lover to wife to mom, or we go from being married to being divorced. A third type of transition are those that kind of knock us to our knees, right? The transitions that we were not expecting. We lose a job, we lose our business, we lose a loved one. The way to get through a transition, I believe, is to embrace the space between no longer this and not yet that. And that space is where the magic happens. Many times when you're faced with a transition, you begin to ask the questions, why? Why did this happen? How could this have happened to me? Why me? Why me? And you stay stuck in that before the transition. You stay stuck in that spot. When you start, after you've acknowledged the transition, so you say, okay, I'm in transition, you step into that transition, that's when the magic happens. So as we're going through today and you're looking at what might be keeping you in a place where you're not very happy, let's look at embracing the three dots, the ellipses. Let's look at embracing the transformation period. Some ground rules for today. I'm going to ask that you be here now, that you challenge yourself, and that you have some fun. Okay, and ask your questions in the chat, and as I said, my team will interrupt me if you have some questions. Okay, so let's get started by doing some centering. Centering or grounding will help you make good and thoughtful decisions. The importance of being centered and grounded is that it sets the tone for how you approach the world, right? How calm you feel inside is how you approach the world and how you approach challenges. And I'm going to take you through a really interesting breathing exercise called the box breath. Your breath is very, very powerful. It's the first thing you do when you come into this world is you inhale. That's why the babies cry when they come in, is they're taking an inhale. And the last thing you do when you leave this world is you exhale. And in between are all the breaths of your life, the moments of your life. We breathe one way when we are anxious or scared. You probably can remember the last time you had a fright, you probably took an intake of breath and your breath became very shallow. We breathe another way when we're excited or nervous. And we breathe yet another way when we are angry or mad. The way you breathe can help keep you in a certain state of mind. It can keep you anxious, it can keep you happy, or it can even keep you mad. The really good news is that you're in control of your breath. You're in control of the inhale and the exhale. And you can make it work for you. Think about singers. They use their breath to create sounds that have the power to move us, right? And athletes use their breath to achieve their goals. I'm going to teach you, again, a powerful breathing technique that you can use whenever you're anxious or nervous or stressed. It's called the box breath. It takes just a few minutes and it will calm you down. So imagine that you're looking at a square box, okay? And I'm going to take you through this exercise. You're going to breathe evenly. You're going to inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Okay, and we'll do it to a count of 4 and do it evenly. And as you get better and better at this, you'll be able to extend the inhale, hold, exhale, hold to 10 seconds, 15 seconds. There are people who do this regularly who can hold their breath for close to a minute, and it automatically calms you down. As a matter of fact, this breath is also known as the Navy SEALs breath. In the US Navy SEALs, our elite forces, they are taught this breath to center and get ready for the missions. Okay, so close your eyes for a minute And then just listen to the sound of my voice. Again, imagine a square box. So you're going to start inhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're going to hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do one more round. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. Hold. I'm sorry. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you can do that for a minute. Just inhale, hold, exhale, hold. The magic happens in the hold part, okay? Because that's when you are intentionally focused on your breath, because you probably want to exhale, especially after you've exhaled and you're asked to hold. So consider doing that breath as you are starting your day, if you're feeling nervous, if you're anxious about something, just, stop and breathe. And if you're like me and understand the power of your breath, every morning you will do some kind of a breathing exercise, right? And it will set the tone for your day. Next, because a lot of times we don't understand the power of our mind, I like to do this visioning exercise because it really explains and shows how our mind can set the tone for things that we want to achieve, even if those things seem unachievable. I read many years ago some studies about athletes, and they were trying to figure out how athletes could continue their training once they were injured. Because as you can imagine, a runner who gets injured, he's not able to train, but the coaches work with them to train themselves, to train them mentally, their minds. And they actually did some experiments where they put monitors on, and they told a group of runners to, as they were seated in this lab, they said, okay, close your eyes and imagine yourself in a race. So you see that you hear the gun go off. What is the first thing that you do? They imagined themselves running off the starting block. In the middle part of the race, where are you positioned? What is your next move? Their heart rate started going up. They started breathing a little bit more heavily. And all of this until they reached the finish line, at which point their heart rate was at peak. And they were just sitting there. They weren't actually running. So you can train your mind to actually feel the exertion of a race, just as you can train your mind to be completely calm. And you can train your mind to see things in the future where you want them to be. So this visioning exercise, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes and just listen to what I'm going to say, and be present with this exercise for it to have full impact. So I want you to envision that you have left this workshop and you've just gotten to your home. You walk inside your house and you head straight to your kitchen. Once inside your kitchen, you open the refrigerator door and you feel the cool breeze against your face from the refrigerated air. You reach inside the refrigerator and you pull out a lemon. You feel the old bumpy texture of the lemon in your hand, and you close the refrigerator door as you take the lemon and walk across the kitchen to the counter. You place the lemon on the counter and then reach inside the drawer where you keep your knives. You pull out your knife and your cutting board and you slice the lemon in half. Careful not to cut yourself. You pick up 1/2 of the lemon with one hand and you put it up to your nose, and you can smell the cool, crisp citrus scent of the lemon. Take a deep breath and smell that lemon. After smelling the lemon, you can take it and look at it. Then you can take a big bite into that lemon. Now open your eyes. How many of you actually felt the whole thing? Did you feel the tingle at the back of your jaw when you bit into the lemon? Did your nose tingle when you smelled the lemon? Yeah, and you felt the cool air from the refrigerator. Well, that's the power of vision, and that's the power of your mind. Another way to consider this is that your mind doesn't really know the difference between make-believe and reality, right? We just did an exercise where you're sitting, not going into your kitchen and opening the refrigerator door and pulling out the knives and all, but you had that experience. And that's why it's so important to understand that what you put in your mind is very, very powerful. Your mind is a powerful resource, and the good news is you're always in control of your mind, of your thoughts. That's why vision boards and things that we see on a regular basis are a powerful tool for aligning what you dream about and what you experience in life. Taking time to create what you wish to experience is really, really important. And that's what we're going to be doing in the second half of this workshop. Okay, I don't know if there are any questions so far. Nope. Okay, all right, so next let's look at intentions. So intentions are also known as affirmations. And intentions are really, really powerful. I have friends who have intentions on sticky notes all over their homes. And that's because every time they see it, they read it, and it goes into their subconscious and becomes really, really powerful. And the way you write intentions is really important. You have to write your affirmations or your intentions in the present tense. So you want to say, I feel blank now that I am blank. So even if you're not feeling strong now that you're using your breath to your advantage, say that. I feel strong now that I am using my breath to my advantage. If you repeat the affirmation, some people say that you have to repeat it 3 times a day or 5 times a day, or you have to see it 5 times a day. That's up to you how often you want to see it and repeat it. But I think that it's really, the key is it has to be in the present tense, even if it's something you want in the future. Again, we look at what we want, we train our minds to believe we've already attained that, and it makes getting there a lot faster, a lot easier. So you could have an affirmation that says, I feel happy now that I am in a loving and supportive relationship. I feel safe and secure now that I am making $100,000 a year. Or I feel proud now that I am able to keep my staff employed. So I'm going to ask you to take out a piece of paper and to write 2 affirmations. Again, they have to be in the present tense, and you need to tell yourself what it is you want to be in your affirmation. So I'm going to put a little timer for 2 minutes. So take 2 minutes to be intentional and write your affirmations. Okay, so how did that feel? Were you able to write some positive and strong affirmations? If you would, just go ahead and share them in the chat, and we'll see if anybody has any affirmations that they'd like to share.
So Nancy, you're getting some really great feedback. Everybody's saying, Beth, I feel uplifted and powerful. Sana, so good to put them in writing. Alice, everybody's agreeing. Great exercise.
Good, good, good. All right, so let's move on to this idea of alignment. So look at your intentions, right? And then decide what is in the way of my achieving those intentions or affirmations. And you can look at this. It's important to look at this because you can't move forward if you are not in alignment with your values, with your core values. So we have an exercise that we do here at the council on core values. And if you would like that core values sheet that will help you come up with some core values, let us know, and we'll be glad to send you a sheet and walk you through that exercise. But for now, let's look at internal beliefs that you might have that are keeping you from achieving these intentions. And your internal, it could be beliefs, it could be something having to do with resentment, or the need to forgive someone or yourself, possibly. And then external blocks could be space and time. If you're a business owner and your intention is that you want to get more business, it could be this whole pandemic that is, an external thing that's holding you back from achieving your intention. We're going to get back to a little more about that in the next exercise when we look at limiting beliefs. But it's really important that you look at your affirmation and be aware of what might there be some internal blocks or some external blocks that are keeping you from getting those affirmations. And the really amazing thing is that once you write down your affirmation and you write down the blocks, it's like magic happens. You will be able to see where you're going to need to focus more attention if it's an internal block that's keeping you from getting that, or an external block that's keeping you from getting what your affirmation is. The key, though, is to put your affirmation someplace where you're going to see it on a regular basis, okay? And where you're going to take advantage of being able to see it on a regular basis. So I once worked with a coach who told us that she wanted to write a book. And her affirmation was, I am happy now that my book is written. I'm happy now that my book is published. I am happy now that my book is that she's invited to book signings, etc. And those were her affirmations, but she had some internal and external blocks. She was a single mom working and taking care of a young son who was very active in soccer and after school activities. So she had very little time, she thought, to be able to write this book. And her intention was to write a book. And so she decided that she was going to wake up at 5:30 every morning, because that would be the time when she would write her book, between 5:30 a.m. and 6 a.m. So she set an alarm, and she gave her alarm a name. The alarm, every time it went off at 5:30 a.m., she saw the words, how badly do you want this? How much do you want this? And so as she looked at that, she had two choices. She could turn the alarm off and go back to sleep. And the answer is, I didn't want it that badly. Or she could get out of bed and say, I really want this. And this is the time, this half hour is the time that I can devote to this. Well, she is a well-known published author, and she talks around the world about her book and how she was able to design a life of her dreams. So I encourage you to, when you're looking at what's keeping you back, there are things you can do. And don't forget, with iPhones and the technology that we have, we're able to really set alarms that remind us throughout the day of the things that we would like to achieve. So let's talk about gremlins. So gremlins are little monsters that live in your head, or that voice in your head that says you can't do something, right? And it's the voice in your head that's based on your subconscious, and is really trying to protect you. And that's why it says no. That's why it says you can't do this, because our subconscious, for survival, is designed to keep us safe. And our subconscious does a really great job at keeping us safe. An example of that is, when was the last time that you got into your car and you drove someplace, you got to your destination, and you don't remember getting there? You were involved in something else, you were thinking about something else, yet you made it safely to your destination. Well, that's because your subconscious kind of kicked in. You've been driving for years. You know that when you see the brake lights in the car ahead of you, you know to lift your foot off the accelerator and maybe press the brakes. You know that if you're going to turn right at a certain point on your drive home, you need to put your turn signal on, right? And those of you who drive manual shift cars, you know when to shift those gears, right? So you do that all subconsciously. We can use our subconscious to our advantage. We can also control when our subconscious says, no, you can't, right? Research shows that when you write down something that's bothering you, you actually take the power that it holds. You move from, when you move it from your head to a piece of paper, you take that control. So our next exercise, I'm going to ask you again to take out a piece of paper and to draw your gremlin. So your gremlin can look something like this. It can be just a face. It can be a stick figure. It can be whatever that voice of doubt, that voice that holds you back, whatever you think that might look like, you draw that. Then you're going to give your gremlin a name. And it's really important that you give your gremlin a name, because when you hear the gremlin, you can then just say, thank you. I know you're trying to keep me safe, but I'm going to go ahead and do XYZ, right? So you're going to draw your gremlin, you're going to give it a name, and you're going to do 5 thought bubbles. And you're going to write down 5 things that your gremlin says. And here's some, on this slide are some examples. You're too old. You already tried that and failed. You're stupid. You can't do that. Really, what makes you think you can? So those are some examples of things that your gremlin might say to you. Write down, what does your gremlin say? The last time you tried something new, what kept you? What voice did you hear in your head that kept you from doing the thing you wanted to do? Okay, so we're going to take about 4 minutes to do that. Okay, and just a little bit longer to finish your gremlin. Don't forget to give your gremlin a name. Okay, so let us know in the chat how you found that exercise, and maybe the name of your gremlin and some of the things that your gremlin says. And while you do that, let me share with you a great book that I read a while back by Elizabeth Gilbert called Big Magic. And Elizabeth Gilbert, you might know her from Eat, Pray, Love. That was the very bestseller book that she wrote. It became a movie with Julia Roberts. It got lots of critical acclaim, and women all over the world were going on Eat, Pray, Love adventures. And it seemed like overnight Elizabeth Gilbert became this great sensation. And then she looked at herself and she said, okay, now what? What am I going to do now? What is my next book? And how can I ever top Eat, Pray, Love? And it kept her from writing. So she had this gremlin in her head of fear. She had this voice in her head saying, you will never be able to gain the success and the popularity, the renown of Eat, Pray, Love. So she wrote this book called Big Magic, which is her journey back to creativity. And there's a quote in the book, I'm paraphrasing, but she said that the way she finally broke the block of creativity is, she said, to fear, which was the thing that was holding her back. She said to fear, creativity and I are going for a drive. You can come along. I'm in the driver's seat. Creativity is in the passenger seat next to me. And you, fear, can sit in the back. You can complain and you can say everything you want, but I'm in control of the car. I'm the one that's driving us forward. So with creativity by her side and fear in back, because we can never completely get rid of that fear, she said, she was able to go on and write 3 more books. Okay, so keep that in mind, that your gremlin is there. Its mission is to really protect you and to make sure that you're safe. But you can say thank you. You can use the analogy of driving in the car. You're driving forward, and your gremlin, whoever he or she is, there, and you say thank you. Thank you, so and so. I hear you, but I am going to do what I need to do. And a way to really make this exercise powerful is to put your gremlin someplace where you're going to see it on a daily basis, and read the thought bubbles that you see on a daily basis, so that when you hear them, you can say, stop. Thank you, but I'm not stupid. Stop. Thank you, but I can do that. What makes me think I can do it is that I've done it in the past successfully, or I know how to do networking, or I know how to market. I'm not too old. Okay, so I really invite you to put your gremlin somewhere where you're going to see him or her regularly, and remind yourself that you are able to move forward despite what your gremlin says. Okay, so next, I'm going to invite you to do another powerful thing, which is to write a letter to yourself, right? We are, because we're very self-critical, I'm going to ask you to take out a piece of paper and to write down 10 things that you love about yourself. Okay, and for most of us, the first 3 or 4 things come really easily. The next, things come a little bit more difficult, with a little more difficulty. So if that's the case for you, I'm going to ask you to remember, what does your friend say about you, your best friend? When you are in doubt and you call your best friend, what does she tell you? What does she say about you? Also, what is it that you admire about your friend? We are mirrors. Our friends love us because there are certain things about us that they admire and aspire to. And we love our friends because there are certain things about them that we admire and aspire to. So write down 10 things that you love about yourself. All right, so take like 30 seconds to do that. Okay, now those 10 things, I'm going to invite you to really put them in the form of a letter, right? Dear Linda, here are 10 things I love about you. And then you're going to list those 10 things, right? And now if we were in person, I would actually collect your letters. I would give you an envelope. I would have you address the envelope to yourself, and I would have you seal the envelope, because I'm not going to read your letter. You would seal the envelope and give it to me. And then sometime over the course of the next year, I would send you that note. And it always happens that I get a call or I get a letter back saying, Nancy, I needed to see that letter when you sent it to me. On the day that it arrived, it was perfect. Now, I don't know how that happens. I keep a stack of letters on my desk, and every day or every couple of months, I'll pull some letters and I'll just send them. And the universe works its magic, and the letter comes to you when you need it most. So because we are in a Zoom situation where I don't have access to your letters, I'm going to ask you to fold your letter up and to put a calendar reminder on the following dates. I'm going to give you 4 dates. So on the 31st of March at 11 a.m., put a calendar reminder that says, read my letter. Do the same on the 2nd of March at 11 a.m. Reminder to read my letter. On the 1st of September, again at 11 a.m., read my letter. And then on the 8th of December at 11 a.m. So the dates are the 31st of March, the 2nd of June, the 1st of September, and the 8th of December. And we are all going to be doing this at the same time. And imagine how powerful we will all feel as we are reading our letters to ourselves. Okay. So we did that. Read your letter. Here are the dates again. The 31st of March, the 2nd of June, the 1st of September, and the 8th of December. Okay. And so now let me do a real quick exercise on mind mapping. I don't know that we will have time to do this exercise completely, but I want to tell you about this incredible process called mind mapping. It's a great technique for getting your ideas on paper. And I use the mind mapping technique with my team. Steph and I especially really love to do mind maps. And I do it for myself, right? So the easiest way to do a mind map, here are 2 examples. You put whatever goal you have in the center of the page. So I don't know if you can see my cursor, actually. Can you see my cursor right here? You put the goal in the center of the page. Then everything related to making a presentation, you just draw a line. For example, you need to find a topic when you're making a presentation. So, and further for that topic, you need an introduction. You might need to add some figures, some clients, a summary. You might want to make a visual presentation. So what are you going to need that's all going to be visual? Those are these things. So that's what a mind map looks like. It's like doing a to-do list, but instead of just writing it, you actually, it'll help train your brain, like over here in this very colorful example that they did. It helps kind of to train your brain on the different things that you need to do. And each of these bubbles can become a whole other mind map. Okay, so then you have, and you can put it up on your wall or on a board, and you have a very large visualization of the things that you are doing to meet your goals. Okay, so sometimes when I do this exercise, people say to me, well, you know, what kind of mind mapping categories, what can we do? So since our theme is strength, right, and seeing our global strength, how about you look at what strength means to you in these different categories? What does strength mean to you in your finances? What does it mean to you in your marriage, in parenting, in your friendships, self-love and self-care, health and awareness, in your environment? Now, your environment can mean, you know, your physical outside environment, the trees and those things, but it can also mean your work environment, right? Your workspace, what does that look like? Do you have enough room? Do you have enough lighting? Because sometimes we put up with bad lighting, and that really affects how we work. All right. How does strength show up in your career or your business? In your spirituality, how does strength show up? Fun and enjoyment, hobbies. In your community, the contributions that you make, and in your relationships. So if you, at some point, you can come back and look at these categories and say, this is what strength means to me in my parenting, in my business, in the spiritual aspect of my life. Okay, so I think in the interest of time, I'm just going to give you a couple of minutes to start your mind map. Maybe decide the 1 or 2 categories that you want to put in the middle and start to think about it. And then you know, take some time to do the mind map, and then we can share that in the community afterwards. Okay, so just take maybe a minute or 2 to start your mind map. And let me show you again the 2 examples. You can do this kind of a map, and actually you can find, if you prefer, you can find an app that you can create mind maps on your phone or on the computer with an app. And I've looked at those apps. They're very, very good. You can actually cross things off. You can color code it. If you would rather go this route where you put pen to paper, you can do that as well. And I think what we can do is maybe take a break, because the next portion of our time together is going to be actually doing some creating of our strengths piece. So how about we take a 5-minute break? So come back in 5 minutes and be ready to start on your creative piece, and we'll put you in breakout room. Okay, well, I'm going to welcome everybody back. Thank you so much for coming back. I hope that you'll have as much fun in this second portion of our event today. And I'm going to ask Linda to say a few words about what's coming up next.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so we're all going to go out into our breakout rooms in small groups, which I have no control over. It's all Steph. Okay, and each room will have someone to moderate or to help you through the conversations. I really want you to make use of the rooms to meet the women in them and create connections. The best way to create connections is just to talk and start a conversation and find what connects you. And while you're doing that, be as creative and as energetic as possible. I'm still smelling lemons, so it works. So make sure that you take the time to meet all those women. Everyone that I can see here is a really valuable person to know. So connect, okay, and be creative, and the sky's the limit for creativity. Whatever you produce, it will be amazing. I am absolutely sure, because it'll come from each one of you. So make sure that you use all the time wisely. Time flies. Okay, so I'll see you in the breakout rooms, and I hope I get to meet as many of you as possible.
Great. Thank you so much, Linda. So before Steph actually puts you in the breakout rooms, what's going on here? Let me share again a couple of ideas of what you can do as your strengths piece. And we're hoping to collect these pieces and create like a gallery, a curated gallery on all of our websites, showing how women around the world have interpreted strength. So a vision board is where you cut out words and images that mean strength to you, that make you feel strong and powerful. And the goal is, again, to keep that vision board someplace where you're going to see it on a regular basis. Because what you can see, you can become.
Yes.
This is something that I did with my art coach. Again, I used a brown paper bag. We turned it inside out, and I just literally drew my hands. I put both my hands on the piece of paper outlined my hands and then added some embellishment, because I believe that my hands have healing power and energy. And I like this piece because it reminds me that I can give and receive strength, right? I can accept compliments and I can accept help. And a lot of us women, we have a hard time accepting help and accepting compliments. A third example are these affirmation branches. I had a lovely time with my art coach doing this, where we just collected, I went outside and I collected some branches, and then we used watercolor on paper and just wrote words that represent strength to me. And so this piece is in my studio space, and every time I look at it, I think, oh yes, courage represents strength. The ability to connect with other women is something that I feel represents strength for me. And fearlessness, I believe in me, all of these words, these are just an affirmation tree. The Whimsical You portrait, this, again, you can just make something that represents strength. So one of the eyes in this portrait, it is intended to be like a mirror. You know, when you stand in front of a mirror that's behind a mirror and you have a mirror behind you, you look like you're looking through several different mirrors. So I use this as a representation of all the women who came before me and all those who will come after me. We all carry the strength of all of our sisters, all of our ancestors within us. And then just another fun cardboard sculpture. This was just done with a piece of cardboard. And don't we all have a lot of cardboard with all the deliveries that we're getting, right? We have a lot of cardboard. And I just cut the pieces out, and I did some collage on it first, and then just painted and then glued onto a piece of wood that I painted black. Okay, so
Nancy, it's such a shame that we spent our youth with our teachers creating such lovely things and bringing them home, and then we disconnect from this part of ourselves. This is an opportunity to go back and connect with this part of yourselves, which kind of gets drummed down as you get older. So just go reach back and grab it and connect with yourselves, the dreamer you of your youth.
Yeah, yes. And remember, it does not have to be perfect. Actually, Linda, I'm so happy you said connect with yourself. So I'm going to encourage everyone to connect with their 5-year-old self. If you've been anywhere near a 5-year-old anytime recently, you know that they believe that every piece of art they do is absolutely perfect. The elephant looks like an elephant, even though to us it looks like a blob, right? So that's connect with your 5-year-old self and let your creativity emerge, because that's the important part, and this piece represents something for you.
So we can just introduce ourselves, and just as Ruth was saying, it's really important to get to know everyone that's here. So perhaps you could tell us what you do, what you're doing at the moment, one or two takeaways that you take away from this session, okay? And also what courage means to you. How's that? Okay, short, sharp, and sweet, okay? Catherine, start with you, my darling.
I'm first, okay. Hi, everyone. It's been a lovely session. First of all, thank you. Well, I'm currently in this transition. I think I'm in the ... part of your presentation earlier, transitioning from being employed and within almost the same company for 15 years to now starting our own thing. We're starting a business that is, for now, it's a community, and we're starting to have our first potential clients, but it's really, really early stage. And it's actually together with a friend of mine in Portugal. So yeah, and I'm based in the south of Spain, as you've seen from my tag. But I'm originally from Austria, so this is all a great journey for me. What I've taken away from the session is I actually got my wish fulfilled. I said, okay, I hope this is going to surprise me today. And it did. It was really lovely to actually do some work. And I came here without any specific expectations. And what's courage for me? Well, I think it's right now we are all very courageous in this time of uncertainty, of future uncertainty, taking this leap into, creating your own businesses or just embracing change. I think that's really what for me is courage, like the enthusiasm to really embrace change and just go for it and try and be okay with the fact that it can fail if it has to fail.
Well done, thank you. What about Maite? So we want to know what you do. We want to know your 1 or 2 takeaways from the session and what courage means to you. And remember, short, sharp, and sweet.
Okay, well, the name of my company is Blooming Sweet Life. And my company is about natural product, but in special the natural sweetener, stevia. I'm encouraged to, in my case, I want to create employees, and other women to be, have a, sorry my English, and this is very hard to me.
No, go ahead, you're doing well.
Basically, I want to have a company who gives things to the society. I don't know how to explain yet, but to be a better person. You are in this life for a purpose. So it's not about do money, everything. So this is I want to grow my business in order to help other people. That is my vision.
That's
Beautiful.
a good vision. It's a good vision, Maite. Good vision. What about Meryl?
Can we, excuse me, Linda, can we have everybody say where they're from?
Yeah. Maite, where are you from?
I am from Venezuela, but I am living in Miami actually. And I am in the food ingredients for working in the food ingredients for more than 15 years.
Excellent. Thank you, Maite. And Meryl, my dear.
Yes, so my name is Meryl Cook, and I live in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia on the Halifax Harbor. And my business is called Meryl Cook Engagement by Design. I work with corporate leaders and their teams to create a sense of connection and well-being, and as well to deal with their purpose with a hands-on type of work when I'm able to. My most popular work since COVID has been creative journaling sessions virtually. So that's what I've been focusing on this year. And my takeaways from this morning, I think I was thinking about strength while I was walking my dog this morning, and what are the qualities of strength. And as an artist, you can see my art behind me. I'm an abstract artist, so I'm thinking about what type of piece could I design that would be about strength. So that's my main takeaway so far. And it's so wonderful to see some of the women that I met through Go for the Greens this fall, and just to see people from all different countries. It's very exciting. So thank you for bringing this together.
Excellent. Thank you, Meryl. Jill, let's hear from you. Microphone, Jill.
Thank you. Hi, thank you all for putting this together today. What an amazing event this is. And I am Jill Stoltz from Lakeland, Florida, which is in between Tampa and Orlando. And my business is a women-owned business and based on doing branded products for our clients, which means we solve their problems. They come to us with the promotion they want to do. Now it's virtual meetings. And so we put together products that are unique to their companies, and we fulfill these and send them to individual homes or locations where people might gather, for just a couple of people or less to have meetings. So we provide branded products, and this business I've acquired back in 2015, and it's been in business since 1952. We're very, very blessed. I thank God every single day. But my biggest takeaway from this is just the empowerment of all the women, and especially internationally, and getting to know people's visions and what they have, and especially what Nancy's been, speaking about, just learning more about myself and the courage, and to just put it on paper what you believe in, and just to go for it. And a lot of times I lack that confidence, even though I've been in this business for 27 years. It's amazing, but I can learn every single day more and more from everyone. So I just happy International Women's Day, and thank you so much for putting this together. You all are amazing women.
Thank you, Jill. And Maria João, before you raised your hand, I was
Thank
already
you.
going to go.
Because I'm so sorry, but I'm taking a course so online, so I have to go to the class, and I'm really sad, but I have to leave because I'm already going to be late. But I wanted to share a little bit. I'm a teacher in Portugal, and I teach young kids from 7 to 9 years old. I've been doing that for 25 years now. And finally, I'm thinking of changing a career. So it's all a little bit scary because I like to do other things, but I have a family and all the things that we got stuck in. But I came here for that, for get some inspiration and to bring out my courage. So thank you all, because it's been amazing, and I will complete all the tasks, I promise.
Okay, thank you, Maria João.
Bye
Enjoy
bye.
your class. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. And Paula.
My name is Paula. I'm calling from Portugal. I was general manager until June last year, but because COVID, I still between jobs. However, since this date, I'm upskilling, and I am also been focusing on the early stage of my own personal project in hospitality industry, specifically in well-being. And I'm very, very grateful to be here with these lovely women, and I feel very uplifting, and very, very thank you for sharing your insights. Thank you very much.
Okay. And Sona, you were interrupted by Steph in the middle of your presentation. So how about sharing again?
No worries, no worries. Hello to everyone, and it's such a pleasure to be part of this session today. So fantastic, so thankful to be a part of it. And thank you, Nancy, for leading us through it. Sana Ross is my name. Ross Marketing Solutions is my company. I have been in the marketing and branding realm and gifting for over 30 years. And because of COVID, I was a vice president of a company based in Hong Kong and lost my position. They decided to pull out of the US. And so made the decision with, from my affirmation or back when we were writing those things, I'm happy because I'm in a loving and supportive marriage and relationship, a man who supports me and said, you know how to do this, go, you go, girl. And so that's what I've done. And I was certified in December and have been joining as just taking in as much as I can from WeBank, and wanting to give back as well, because it's so fantastic. And Nancy, I had my card, which I opened today, that from the session that you did with us in January, I think it was. My vision board is on the back. I look at it every day. It's such an inspiration. So my takeaways, and I'm based in Miami. Mati, I'd love to reach out to you and get to know you, and I know Carmen will as well, and we'll see what we can all do to help each other and support each other. My takeaways are that how much I've grown from January, doing this exercise in January to where I am today, and how many things I've done, what I'm doing, and I'm putting everything into action that Nancy has taught us today. the breathing, the meditations, all of it, and how it has changed my life, how it has brought me joy. And I love that Steph said unstoppable. I love that word, because as women, I think we are unstoppable. The only thing that stops us is us, right? So it's just empowering to be part of this. And what courage means to me is just to believe in myself, to have the courage. I love plants. I love flowers. I love to walk in the morning with my husband before I start my day, before I do my meditations. And so I'm not going to make another vision board. I'm going to take a tree branch and I'm going to put all my words on, because I want to bring those flowers into my office and have it always be a part. And I'm going to think of every one of you every time I look at that tree. So thank you.
Thank you, Sona. I think that secretly Steph did it on purpose, because she knew that the best thing was for us all to be together sharing. So I think it was her secret tactic. Okay, Ruth.
So, hi everyone, my name is Ruth. I work at the CPL meetings and events. This is so great to be here today. This is the best International Women's Day that I have so far. So thank you, Nancy, and thank you to all of your team. I have so many takeaways. Strength to me means two different things. I look to strength when I work out, I think, well, I'm not going to do this. I'm not capable, but then I think, well, I can. And when we put this in our head, we will be able to achieve some goals. And professionally, the strength, it means to deal with different clients and to be able to fulfill their needs and what they need to have a good work. So that's strength. It's to be able to do what we need without thinking about it. Just do it. So thank you so much for having me today.
Okay.
Beautiful.
And Carmen. You have no microphone, Carmen, dear.
There we go. Okay. Hi, everyone. So I'm the South Florida Regional Director with the Women's Business Development Council. And I work with an amazing group of talented and creative women. And of course, Nancy Allen is our leader. And I've learned so much in the last 6 months that actually it's been already over 7 months that I've been working with this amazing nonprofit. I've had the pleasure of to meet a lot of inspirational women that are so brave in, I guess, owning their own business and being their own boss and being the ones controlling their destiny. And I look forward to continuing, being there to provide guidance based on my experience, because I come from the corporate world and retailing for many, many years, and sharing what I know. My takeaway regarding the sessions that we've had is something that I learned is that I do have a gremlin, and that was really pretty funny to acknowledge that. And and I have identified what the gremlin usually says to me is like, "Are you sure you want to do that?" and question myself. So I am going to be, putting more effort into saying to myself, no, I know I can do this, and just try it. And pertaining to what courage or strengths are for me, in a personal level, I see the courage and strength within my family. They are immigrants. They have overcome so much coming from Cuba. So within our DNA, our culture, we are very hard workers. We, myself, my husband, everything that we definitely have strived together as a team to achieve. And we have instilled that into our children as well. So to me, family comes first above everything else. And yet I do like to have time for myself, and I need to dedicate more time to myself, because I find I am much happier person and have more patience if I do dedicate some time to myself. So having the courage to say no, I think it's important. And being able to, I guess, mind mapping, you know, what the rest of the month is for me is going to be helpful, because I do have a lot of things going on. And I tend to sometimes overcommit myself because I want to please everybody and do everything, and it's not possible. So, so just wanted to, you know, just say that it's a pleasure to meet all of you. And this is a great opportunity to grow on a personal level as well as in a career-wise level as well. So
thank you, Carmen. Thank you, Carmen. And Sylvia. Sylvia. It says Sylvia, Portugal.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Sylvia. I'm from Portugal, hypnotherapeuta, and I'm very happy to be here. And I like very much the session that Nancy did, because always when we look inside, we can see new things, something that we never see. So I think it's very, very good to do all this. And to me, it gives me an insight. So thank you, Nancy. And thank you, everyone. To me, courage is embrace and have the courage to accept yourself every day, because you are changing every day if you want, but you have to accept first who you are. So thank you.
Okay. I don't know if the ladies that have their cameras off want to intervene. Sally Aversano? No?
Hi,
Yes?
everyone.
Hello, Sally.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I think Linda's up. Okay. Yeah, sorry for the non-visual. Just some things going on right now. So, but I didn't want to miss this today because being a part of this group for the last few months has been so enlightening, so enriching. Just the group amazes me every time I get an opportunity to hang out with y'all. My company is Strategic Logistics Relocation Solutions. I own it. I'm 100% owner. WayBank certified for 2 years. We're a relocation project management company. My takeaway from today is so much. You know, I've done a lot of exercises in my very long career, and they have been exercises that are streamlined to, you know, events I've been at in my industry, events I've been at in organizations I belong to that are not just women. So doing these things with you guys and Nancy and those of you that lead this group, I just learned so much every day. And because of some situations that I have going on, I didn't know that like there was going to be people from other countries. So that has just been spectacular. So again, thank you, everyone. Sorry, I'm not visually with y'all and commenting as much as I would normally, but.
You're forgiven, Sally. You're
I
forgiven.
will be back.
Okay, we'll remember that.
Nice
What about
to meet
Claudine? You're welcome. Claudine.
Yes.
Hello, Claudine.
Hello, good to see all of you. Good to be in community with you today. I'm a retired professor of Black Studies and going through a big transition in my life after being involved professionally, both in my native Haiti and in the US, you know, very active as both a faculty member and an administrator, and searching for new experiences, new relationships. And Nancy is a very good friend of mine. We're close. And I read her book on scaling your business. And I wanted to read the book because she's a friend, okay? And I care about what she's doing. And she had some transitions herself. And I really learned how interconnected the world is and how even though we do totally different things, but how there are lessons to be learned. Like I told Nancy, I think her book is not about scaling, about business. It's about being successful in life, whether you're an administrator, whether you're in business, whether you are in whatever other field. So my takeaways are really learning from others, learning from other platforms, embracing new worlds. And in terms of courage, there's been also some challenges. I call it, with the new generation of faculty members, killing the parents, okay? And there's some adjustment, there's some surrendering, there's some, giving space to others and watching maybe some mistakes being made at some point. And last night, I love orchids. My cat decided to climb on the bookshelf and, broke two pots that had orchids in them, one big white one and a small black one. And I gathered those pieces, and it's like, how do you take broken and make it whole again? And how do you take what's shattered and create anew with it? And I had gathered this to make a piece today, and I guess we didn't do that, but I love hearing each one of you and connecting with my sisters from other world. But I will try to give you a little shot. Can you see this little piece here? That's what I did.
Yes, lovely.
Okay, with my little mermaid here, some kind of sea. And so I sent a photo to Nancy. Okay. So anyway, good to be in community with you and learning from all of you. And I'm glad to see my friend Kawal, who joined us here. And I had another Haitian friend, also another faculty member, Cecile, who was there for a while. So thank you for allowing us to join your space.
Thank you, Claudine. The Chinese say that when something is broken and then you bring it together again and glue it, it's stronger. So when you're broken and you come together again, you are stronger than you were before. You are more beautiful than you were before. So that is a really good example. Okay, please, Steph and Nancy, you tell me when we have to stop, because I don't want to overstay. I want to talk to everyone, but I don't want to go over time, because Steph is it will kill me.
No.
Okay, so
no, we're good. We're good. Keep calling on people, because I think
so.
This
Let's look at. Let's get who is missing. Maite Nava.
No, I think Maite already spoke.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I've lost a bit of control.
Let's try.
What about? Let's look at Emily. Emily, I'm so sorry, Emily. Okay.
Hi, hello, Linda. Hello, everyone. It's so wonderful to be here and connect with everyone. Hi, Maryland, Canada. Happy to see Meryl and everyone. Good to see you. And yeah, this is a lovely opportunity to just share commonalities. And what I find intriguing is that my main takeaway is that the global community, we have so much in common. We don't have things that different. We still have similar issues about confidence and courage, and all those things are ringing true around the world. So I find that I like to always be reminded to review intentions and to have that focus priority and have that thing that you concentrate like a laser on, so that you're not distracted from what's important to you. So being reminded of that on a daily basis is important, because it's amazing how quickly and easy it is to forget what you really want to focus on. So that is one thing. Also, let me see here. So, okay, so as far as what does courage mean? Oh, well, so where am I? I'm here in Florida. I'm a part of Nancy's team, the team of the 5 ladies down here. And I represent, I'm on the East Coast of Florida. So the region where I am is called the Treasure Coast. And Florida is divided into counties. We have 67 counties. And I cover 4 counties. So where I am is halfway between Miami and Orlando, near West Palm Beach, Vero Beach. I personally am in Fort Pierce, and then we cover down to Palm Beach County in the south. So today's a little chilly, just so you don't think it's always sun and beach over here. It's a little cold. I had to have a scarf on. Okay. Anyway, but so yeah, courage really has many forms, but I would just say briefly, it's just being yourself. I agree with what Sylvia said. Showing up as you and not being afraid, not trying to fit into someone else's box, just being unapologetic about yourself and what you believe and what you stand for. That to me is courage.
Thank you. Can I just share with you that as I disappeared, I was answering the door. I had a delivery, a bonsai from my university students to wish me happy Women's Day, because they say, like me, the bonsai is strong, everlasting and resilient. And I'm very emotional at the moment. I'm a bit emotional, so I apologize.
That's beautiful.
Okay.
You deserve that, Linda.
Thank you.
Absolutely,
Joanna. Joanna.
Hi, everyone, and thank you to Nancy and Linda and Steph for, coming up with this wonderful idea to connect women and use this virtual space from all over the world. I am honored to meet all of you. I think it's amazing that you all are here and are sharing your words of wisdom. And one of the biggest takeaways for me with this activity that Nancy did, where you have to find your strengths and what you're good at. I feel like it's hard for me, and I think most women, it's hard to find the good in yourself, like what you truly are good at, and lean on your family and friends and ask them what are your strengths. And I did that, and I asked my husband and my best friend from college to send me their, like, what they thought was good about me, and it really enlightened me. Like, I was really amazed and impressed, and those words that they said about me were words that I put around my office to remind me that it's not only just me that thinks this, it's close people around me that think this. So I strongly recommend doing that, to doing it also, and finding out, because like Linda, just receiving that beautiful gift, that is just, the words are also just the same, and you can text them and find out, what's wonderful about you. So I did want to share that. And then, as far as strength, I mean, we women we give birth. I mean, I think that is just amazing. And I did have twin boys, and I feel like if I can do that, I can do anything. And that was a real pivotal point in my life. And find your pivotal moment in your life. Like, what is it that you overcame and you thought, how am I going to do this? And use that as a confidence builder, that you can do anything you put your mind to. So I leave you with that. Yeah, thank you all.
Thank you, Joanna. My mom says, you can't scare me. I'm a mother. That is her claim to fame. So I understand what you say.
Yes.
Carol, are you with us?
Hi, how are you? So wonderful to be with all of you too. My friend Claudine Michel actually shared the link with me, so I was glad to join all of you. I'm kind of in the same situation that she's in. I recently retired, have done a lot of the exercises that you've done today, but it's fascinating to hear all of you. I didn't know quite what I would get out of this, but I've of course learned a few things, and intend to, really focus right now on writing my book, which I've been dealing with, and I've had so many distractions that I have not been able to focus. So that's going to be my activity board. My strength is that I am such an organizer and always helping other groups, doing things, especially with Haiti these days. So I have not been focusing on myself and on what I want to do. And this today is going to help me to refocus on that. So that's basically what I got out of it, and so happy to meet a lot of you. And I'll try to read Nancy's book, although I have a collection of books I've begun and haven't finished. But I intend to take a look at that since I also have interest in creating a business venture. Thank you.
Lisa, my dear. You have no voice, Lisa.
Sorry. Okay. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Sorry, I was like on and off. My sister's here visiting from North Carolina, and she was just leaving for the airport, so I had to get off and say hi to her or goodbye to her. Anyway, so I don't know if I have everything down that you guys are looking for, but I love that gave birth. Like, that's enough right there. So I've given birth 5 times. So if that's if that's good, I'm good. But it's sort of interesting because I had 5 kids very close in 7 years, and now they're all like late teens, early 20s, and I have 4 boys, only 1 girl in the middle, and she's 22, just graduating, and she's got 2 job offers. So I feel like I'm encouraging her as a woman and her voice, and it's all men. She's in the industry, and then my mom, who's 89, is here and giving her the strength. So it's just nice to be with all these women, and you guys are all amazing. I love when you come on, you have like these eloquent ways of saying everything. I'm like, wow, that was very well said. So I'm like, and so I'm from Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm originally from New York, but I live in Minneapolis. Karen Schweitzer used to be in this group, and she's the owner and president of our company, which is a marketing agency, promotional products. So anything to help brand a corporation. And we pivoted doing these engage boxes for onboarding and team meetings, awards, ceremonies, all virtual. We put together a virtual expo. So she asked if I would step in, and coincident, like my husband also super commutes to Orlando for his job. So he's a physician down there in Claremont. I don't know, it's just outside of Orlando. So I love, now that my kids are like older, I've been working forever, my whole life, but doing more networking, more reading, more of everything. So it's great to be in this group. I've only been in it a couple of weeks. Only a couple of weeks I've been showing up at those Wednesday meetings. Strength. So what is it you want me to talk about? Courage.
So I just want to know what strength means to you.
Strength means to me, call. I think it
we
means
have to keep it short.
Yeah. I think just having a voice, standing up for yourself, not being intimidated, knowing who you are, having a strong sense of self, and knowing your values and core and sticking to them, because the world is so going to tempt you and test you. So if you can just really know who you are and what you believe and what you want, that's going to kind of transcend whether it's work or home or church or anywhere.
Thank you, Lisa, my dear. Margarida.
Hi. Are you
Hi.
listening to me? Hello.
Yes.
I'm sorry I don't have the video, but I just can't start it. So
yeah, that's okay.
So I'm Margarida Perdigão. I'm from Portugal. I work in a bank in the brokerage service, and actually I'm upskilling in a different ways, so doing a marketing course as well, and I've been attending the Rising Academy sessions from Mafalda Almeida here in Portugal, which have been wonderful. And what I take from this session today is all these wonderful share that all the participants have shared with us, and all the exercises that Linda and Nancy have shared with me and with us, and I will do them at home and quietly at home. And for me, courage is when you are able to go ahead with your thoughts and your goals, and despite all the setbacks that life presents you, and you still move and do what you think is right.
Thank you,
Or you have
Margarita.
to do.
Very well explained. And last but never least, we have Diane.
Okay, thank you, Linda. I
I
appreciate
think
it.
everybody's spoken, right? I'm just checking quickly, but yes. Diane,
And I will
yes.
keep it very brief. I'm Diane Sears. I'm part of Nancy's team. I also operate two businesses in Orlando, Florida. One is a magazine for business people, leaders, and the other is a company called Diverse Media that's been in business 21 years now, helping people do books and executive speeches and that kind of thing. And I was so fortunate to work with Nancy on her first book, and we're working on her second book now. The thing I got the most out of this session is, you know, I've been through several sessions with Nancy, and I've never really started mind mapping. And so I want to show you a little bit of what I did. I came up with a mind map today, and it just popped into my head about finance. And so I'm trying to do all kinds of things. So I'm doing this on my iPad, and you can see where I'm laying out my financial future. It's very exciting. And I just want to thank you ladies from all over the world for your help with this, because it was stuck in here and it was stuck in here and now it's out. So, and I want to say thanks to Meryl for mentioning Go for the Greens, because I'm one of the co-founders of this small boutique international conference. And we welcome all of you from Portugal, Spain, and other parts of the world to come. It's in September, and part of it will be virtual and part will be in person. So Linda, I'll be counting on you to be there, and I'll be counting on all of us to be at your conference too. So hopefully you'll tell us a little bit about that before we wrap up.
Well, if Steph lets me, I promise to. Okay, thank you. So thank you so much. There is nothing more amazing than having different women in different phases of life, young, middle-aged, we're all kind of doing different things and still passionate about all the projects and all the things that we have yet to do. I am honored and amazed. Thank you for talking to me. Steph, I'm sorry I took over. I do apologize.
No, you're good. You're good. Linda, why don't you take a minute to tell everybody about the conference, and then we will wrap up.
Okay, so I'll use my moment to say that every year for the last 9 years, we have organized a conference which is called Women of Wisdom. And Women of Wisdom is basically knowledge exchange. That's the only ambition of the conference, is knowledge exchange. We take women who have something to share, knowledge from their business, what they do, and they provide other women with knowledge so that we all accelerate together, because the better we all do, the more we all grow. And it's like a tide coming in. When the tide comes in, we all float and we all rise. So the Women of Wisdom was born out of a project called Women Helping Women. And it is exactly that. We have a main conference where we have inspirational speakers who talk about all sorts of different things. And then we have 4 parallel sessions, one on leadership, one on skills, one on marketing and communications, and one on health and wellness. And you can submit papers. You're still in time. You can submit papers to present, because we've extended the conference, to present in these sessions, as long as you provide. You can talk about what you do and what you know, as long as you provide takeaways for other people that they can immediately implement in their lives, in their careers, in their business, and that it's useful to them. Because literally it is a melting pot of knowledge. And this year, for the first time, and because of COVID really, but that was the intention all along anyway, so it just hurried it up. We're having a virtual conference. So we have a live component, which is in Lisbon, and we have an online component. So we have online speakers, and we have an online audience, and we have a live audience and live speakers. Of course, if you don't come to the live session, you're going to miss out on a lot of stuff, okay? Because you can't interact with us if you're not live. So you are most welcome to be live. You are most welcome to be online. It's up to you. I will be leading the live sessions, of course. Nancy is one of our workshop leaders, and already Ruth was sending me these messages. Oh, Nancy's workshop is going to be so fabulous and so great. Okay, and she's actually launching her book here in Portuguese. Okay, her book has been translated into Portuguese, and we're launching it here. And it's a conference that has men and women. We have amazing men sharing with us the 7 factors to success. We have the first ever world CEO of a Capgemini. She's a Portuguese CEO. She's coming to talk to us, and she's going to talk to us. She's actually tripled the revenue of the company in 5 years, and she's coming to tell us about all the things that stood in her way to get where she is today, and sharing some of her advice. So it is going to be a very, very interesting conference with lots of interesting perspectives, with lots of interesting views, but I can guarantee that you will take away at least 10 things that will immediately be able to be implemented in your life, in your career, and in your business. And additionally to that, you create a network. Today, the internet allows us to work all over the world with partners anywhere in the world, as if we are in our own room. I work with 143 countries, and I don't leave my front room. So it's just a question of visualizing it, right, Nancy? I met Nancy at a WOW conference, and we have been friends and God knows what ever since then, and sharing things and all sorts of things. And Nancy even advised on my mom's grief when she lost my father. So all of these things, the bigger our network, today we are judged by our net worth. So the bigger our network, the more people we know, the more chances we have of being a success. And I will shut up now, Nancy. We today are offering 50% discount on anyone who registers this week, if you're in the USA, of course. And we're giving away 5 free registrations. And Steph will tell you about that in a moment, because we talked about it today. Okay? Mwah. Right, that's it. Done.
Perfect. Well, fabulous. Thank you guys so much. And as Linda said, so there is going to be a follow-up email that's going to come out with all of the details from this event, the notes, the recording. So if anybody's watching the recording later and you had to jump out. But again, here's the big thing. So you do have action items after this, is to please, we want you to work on these strength pieces and to send us a photo. And I believe, Linda, is that what we decided on our 5? Okay, right. So here's some incentive. The first 5 people who submit their photo to me of your strength piece will get the complimentary access to attend the conference. So a little bit of incentive there to get those pictures in. And so thank you so much, Linda, for that. I think that's wonderful. And again, the goal is we're going to put all of these in a virtual gallery, and then we're going to be able to share this and to send it out to other women and let them know what strength means to us. So I want to wrap this up. And again, thank you guys for attending. And with that, again, just thank you guys so much for joining us. And I want to wrap this up with a quote. And I think it has a lot to do when you talk about what strength means to me. And actually, I don't have to look far to see strength, because I look at women in general. When I look at a woman, I see the embodiment of strength. And here's a quote that really means it to me. So a woman is the full circle of the full circle. Within her is the power to create, nurture, and transform. And that's by Diane Marie Child. So again, a woman is the full circle. Think about that. Mm-hmm. We can do what nobody else can do. On every level, and people look at us to do that. So always remember that. Thank you again for joining us. You are all amazing women. We appreciate you every day. You are a gift to this world, and don't you ever forget it.
Thank you all. We see your strength and we honor that strength. So thank you very, very much for participating with us.
Thank you.